Okay, there we go. Yeah, you just give me a minute here. I'm just gonna get this posted to Twitter. All right, I'm just gonna wait for there to be a few more people to hop in. Right back. Just bear with me, guys. I'm gonna get this sent out to a couple people real quick. Just bear with me, guys. I'm gonna get this sent out to a couple people real quick. Just bear with me, guys. I'm gonna get this sent out. All right. Well, got 5 people, so I guess we'll just let more people join in as this gets going. So I've really been trying to think about just what to say. Like I've been spending the past several hours like thinking about what I'm going to say in this, but honestly, I don't really have any idea. But I just felt like I needed to come on here and give a response. So, going back to September when they announced the Road to Miami event, I think everyone in the NASCAR gaming community viewed it as a way to show just the esports world and the NASCAR world what we could really do. So I've been putting in a lot of work in this since that started back in September. And for those who do not know who are new toward and have no really any idea what the Road to Miami event was, basically every other week it would switch between Xbox and PS4, but basically the guy that had the fastest race time at the end of the week would get flown down to Miami by 7:04 and get down there. So PS4 had 4 opportunities, and in those opportunities, finished 6th at Richmond, didn't attempt at Dover, but got 10th at Kansas, and got second at Texas, which really hurt. And the thing that sucked about that was that winner at Miami gets $10,000, so it kind of stung. So move on to about a month after that is when they announced this Heat Pro League, and that started beginning of December. And basically almost every day, except for a couple days around Christmas and a couple days gone for snowmobiling, just put in so much effort into this. And then after the 15th of January is when they announced their top 50, and just to make that list was amazing. So when I was being told by people like Scott Cole and getting feedback from other people saying, wow, you are in this conversation of actually being in the pro league. And I couldn't believe it. I was ecstatic. I literally thought that, wow, I got a chance to show not just the esports world, but all NASCAR team owners what I really can do. So go through the showcase races, and some didn't have some of the best finishes, but showed really good performances in those. So then I guess just fast forward to today, and I don't know, maybe I got myself overhyped a little bit, but yeah, just don't know what to say. Just kind of don't really know how to describe everything right now, because I feel like there's no worse feeling than getting to a point as far as possible without having anything to show for it. And having that much to show for it would mean like getting all the way to this conversation be talked about as a possible esports hopeful right up until the draft, and just came up just a little bit short. And so just a combination of that with how close I got to the Road to Miami event, it's just heartbreaking. Like as I've mentioned it, I'm very vocal about my involvement with Young Life, and I honestly kind of thought that I had a really good chance of being picked up by Joe Gibbs. That's just one of the teams that I looked at, and that I felt like could possibly pick me up. And I would have had no greater feeling and honor to be able to race for a team that had so much involvement with Young Life. And that just would have been a dream. It would have been amazing to have that opportunity. And I didn't really know what was going to happen afterwards. But like kind of the week before getting up to the draft, like I was kind of pessimistic. But then, once you started getting like messages from people saying like really good positive message saying that, yeah, I think you've got a really good shot at this. Like it just starts to build up that morale boost. But just to get to this point and to have nothing to show for it just feels like junk. Just no other way to describe it. But I guess looking at the positive sides of this, seeing a couple friends of mine getting in there, that being Sloppy Joe and Fluffy. Yeah, that's great. Seeing two of my bigger friends get in there is great, but at the same time, it hurts because you're not able to join your friends in that experience. That's what hurts most of all. So, and then looking ahead, yeah, I do appreciate getting the messages. Oh, keep working hard at this, even if you don't get in. Keep going at it. I mean, as wonderful as that is, and yeah, I am definitely listening to people that say to keep pushing hard. There's this part of me that looks back and it's like, okay, I've been driving my butt off for basically half a year now. And so far, I don't feel like I've really got enough stuff to show, like really nothing to show for it. And looking ahead, like oh, you can get into Pro League for next year. Well, I mean, I'm in college. I'm going to be having internships next year. So if I'm going to be gone for a 12-month internship, for being in a Pro League next year for 2020 ain't going to work out. So I basically saw this year as maybe my one chance, one possibility to get in there. So, and just with academics in general and being in college, it being busy, and like the next 2 years of college, they're not going to be getting any easier. So as encouraging as it is for people telling me to help move on and keep pushing at it, I'm also looking at too is like, okay, well, if there is nothing to show for it, at one point do you let it go and focus on the real things in life, like working through college, making sure getting to a good like if Young Life is definitely where the Lord is leading me to go, do I put more attention into that? And with that being said too, is if without putting as much work into esports side, that leaves more room, more opportunity to do other things, such as doing stuff with my Young Life kids and like more time with friends, more time with family. And that's kind of where I am on stuff. I just really don't know what to do at this point. So just looking at the people that got drafted, I think they're all great picks. To be honest, I feel like you probably could have thrown a blanket over the guys ranked like 5th or 6th through 20th or 25th. Like all the top 20, top 25 guys on PlayStation all deserve to be in the draft. And I just kind of think it's a shame that only 14 guys are in this thing. That, maybe we couldn't, I don't know, double it to maybe where there was 2 guys per team. I'm not sure, but that's just kind of my opinion. And I guess one thing that I think would be cool to see, I don't know the chances of it are happening, but just because of how evenly matched everyone was, I kind of feel like that maybe 704 or something, maybe they should put a team together, and like any guys that maybe didn't make it, like maybe like one race, they use that car as an opportunity to show those guys who just missed out on the draft, be in there and race with the guys and be like, hey, I didn't get drafted, but that doesn't mean I'm not as better as any of these other guys. And I think that's another important thing to address too with the draft results. By no means did everybody who got drafted were the 14 best guys. Not taking anything away from them. They're really good guys, talent-wise, but just because they got drafted doesn't mean that they were any better than the guys that didn't get drafted. It was just a matter of what the teams wanted, what they looked forward, what they would have looked towards in a driver, and that's just what they wanted. So with that being said, that's kind of why it would be a cool idea for 704 to have their own team to kind of give these guys an opportunity that missed out of being selected, like a fair chance to get in there. So yeah, I really just don't know what to do at this point going forward. So I think kind of with this, it almost gives me or not almost, but definitely gives me a bigger drive to just win whatever I can in the other 2 leagues I'm in right now, that being the Elite Racing Series on Tuesday nights and being in Carnation Cup on Saturday nights. And just missing out on this just gives me a bigger drive to go out there and perform, do what I can do, and basically in a way kind of show the teams like, hey, yeah, you skipped okay, you skipped over me, yeah, that's fine, here's what you missed out on. So but what I need to do is I need to live up to what I've been posting on Twitter, especially the days before this, saying win or lose or whatever happens, God has a plan in all this. And that plan could be either getting an opportunity down the road in the pro league, or him basically saying, well, no, this isn't what I want you to do. This is not my path for you. And that's kind of the sense that I'm getting with having put in this much time between the Road to Miami event and the Pro League. And okay, so if I'm putting in this much work and I'm getting recognized as a good driver, but it's getting me nowhere, does this mean that I need to hang it up as far as an esports side and put my focus and attention on other things? So I just really don't know what to do. It's going to be a lot of thinking over this next week, kind of just seeing, okay, where areas that I could improve and what are some areas that I feel like God's leading me towards. But yeah, just one word to describe how I feel after today. I'm not mad. I'm not angry with anyone who've like any of the teams for not picking me or like guys who did get picked. Not I'm not mad or angry. Um, I'm just heartbroken because like just a combination of coming up just this short and the combination of coming up just short in the Road to Miami event. Um, Today's definitely been an emotional roller coaster. Um, just because everyone who's been trying to get into this has been trying for the past 3 months. And yeah, just don't know what to say, but I just kind of felt like I know it's been about like 15, 20 minutes of rambling, but I just felt like I needed to get on here and let you guys know what I'm feeling right now, how I felt in this. But yeah, I just kind of felt like I needed to do this. Don't know why, but I needed to. So, um, I guess, Lord willing, if there are more esports opportunities for me in the future that's affiliated with NASCAR, like see what I can do to be involved in that. But yeah, just I don't know. We'll see what happens. So thank you guys for joining in. Unless if you guys have any questions or comments for me, you can drop those over to chat. But just kind of feeling low right now. Just putting in this much work and seeing your friends not out of jealousy, seeing some of your friends make it, but being sad that you don't get to join your friends in the pro league. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm just kind of saying the same stuff over and over again, but Stone, I don't know when you said that, Stone, but you appreciate everyone who has supported me for the past several months. Uh, but yeah, just kind of looking forward. I'm going to definitely be running the rest of the Elite Racing Series this year on Tuesday nights and running the remainder of the Carnation Cup, a few races that we have this year. But after that, I just don't know what's going to be past there in the future. So, but yeah, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for cheering me on. I'm just really blessed to have, even though it's not it's nowhere near the following that Sloppy Joe has, or the Midnight Racing guys have, or Impact or Venom guys have, but just coming as far as we did is great. I'm happy about that, but to just come up this short was just sucks. So that's it. That's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next journey.